Doctor Who for Halloween. Hello and welcome to this week's video. This week I thought I'd do a Doctor Who related video, and given that it is the season, I thought I'd talk about a Doctor Who story that's ideal for Halloween. In this case, it's The Web of Fear, the second Doctor Patrick Troughton masterpiece, in my humble opinion. Now, my history with The Web of Fear goes back quite a long way. I've certainly read the novelisation when I was a kid, just starting out as a fan in the late 80s. And it was a story that I very much enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed everything at that point. hadn't quite yet become the cynical bastard you all know and love. But it was a story that always stuck into memory. Now, I guess the point that I really became kind of fully obsessed with The Web of Fear was when the Lost in Time DVD set came out, and I got to see episode 1, because it wasn't an episode I had seen before. I hadn't got it off a friend or anything like that. I hadn't seen any of the extant episodes except for the ones that were released on, like, the Hartnell years, the Troughton years, the Daleks, etc., Cybermen, etc. And Web of Fear was not among them. It came out with the Lost in Time DVD set, and I absolutely loved episode 1. Of all the stories, I think of all the missing stories, episode 1 left the Web of Fear as the one I was most pissed off about the fact was missing, because I desperately wanted to see the rest of it, because I thought episode 1 was beautiful. Imagine me getting my hopes up in like 2007, I think it was, when Doctor Who Online basically came out and said it had been found. And I'm like, oh my god, yes, the Web of Fear. And then nothing happened, and it that's still one bizarre story, isn't it? I don't think we ever quite got to the bottom of what was going on there. And given that what happened in 2013, it kind of makes you wonder what was going on there, because I mean, I know we often get missing episode rumours, but this wasn't presented as being a rumour. This was presented as being a fait accompli. They had found the Web of Fear, and then 6 years later they actually did find the Web of Fear. Did it? I don't know. All a bit strange, if you ask me. But yeah, I was incredibly disappointed when it kind of went nowhere, apparently. And then, of course, we got the Omni rumour and the 2013 and all that sort of thing. And while I ended up being incredibly disappointed, like so many other people, that turned out to be a right load of bollocks, and it kind of negated the impact of finding 2 almost complete missing stories, in that we were kind of expecting a lot more. And it's like, no, that's all you get. It kind of negated the joy in a way. Though at least not until I actually saw the story. Obviously, I was delighted that Web of Fear was one of the 2 stories that was found. And I have to say, it lived up to my expectations. Now, I know since 2013 there's been a lot of iconoclasts, trying to pretend that Enemy of the World was better. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. These are the same kind of people that try to pretend that Angel was better than Buffy. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. I know you want to pretend to be cool. No, you're wrong. Shut up and go and stand in the corner. Yeah, look, I was completely blown away by the Web of Fear when I saw it in 2013, kind of, downloaded before we actually got the rush released thing from a particular site. Good old Pirate Bay. And I have seen the Web of Fear, obviously, several times since. I still adore the Web of Fear. It's one of my favourite Patrick Troughton stories. It's one of my favourite classic series stories. I absolutely adore the Web of Fear, and it's perfect viewing for Halloween. It's such an atmospheric story. It's such a creepy story. It's so well made. I mean, obviously, it's our first story with Alistair, the wonderful Nicholas Courtney. and he's as wonderful as you would expect him to be. It still niggles a little bit that we don't have episode 3, which was actually his first. And boy, was that animation a pile of shite. Holy shit. That animation kind of falls into the Underwater Menace Recon category of, can you believe they actually had the cheek to release this as a commercial professional product? Like, really? Really? The last time I watched it, I couldn't hack it, and I went back to the recon on the original DVD because it's like, really, holy shit. I hope they do something better with that if and when it comes out on the season 5 Blu-ray set. Can we kind of redo it? It doesn't have to be color, doesn't have to be widescreen. Just do a half decent animation of that one episode in the style of the rest of the story, please. That's all we want. No, we don't want full color. No, we don't want widescreen. We just want the episode done in a faithful manner. Okay? Can you manage that? Preferably without slipping new series references in, if that's at all possible. Sorry. Went off on a tangent there, but you have to be firm with these people. But no, I love the Web of Fear. Based on the animations, and again, I know you can't really judge the animation, especially since it was complete shit. It's far better than Abominable Snowmen, at least based on the long arm stick figure Yeti race swapped actors for no apparent reason other than, I don't know, Gary Russell wants to get lots of likes on Twitter today or something. But yeah, I would put Web of Fear up there with Invasion and War Games, which are among, again, top tier Troughton for me. I think the Web of Fear is beautifully made. Douglas Camfield, of course. Was there a better Doctor Who director than Douglas Camfield? I know a lot of people go apeshit over Graham Harper. Kind of think his legend diminished rather with New Who, to be honest with you. Doomsday is one of the flattest directed stories of all time. Douglas Camfield, on the other hand, man, that guy could make something out of nothing. He really could. It's just, what more can I say? It's just a beautiful story. It's one I've always liked the sound of. The episode 1 just tantalized me so much back in the early 2000s. And actually getting to see more or less the whole thing, it didn't disappoint. It's one of my favourite stories. It does that wonderful Doctor Who thing of taking an idea that sounds completely bonkers and turning it into this creepy, claustrophobic, atmospheric chiller that is just ideal for Halloween viewing. If you want a Doctor Who story for Halloween this year, I suggest The Web of Fear.